a really silly thing, but I think really important. It's black. Look at it, it's black. You have no idea how happy it makes me that there's a black acoustic amplifier out there. They always come in brown. Hi guys, so like everybody else on the planet, I could not wait for lockdown to be over and live music to finally be back. As soon as the lockdown was lifted, I went out and bought this. This is the Blackstar Sonett 60 acoustic amplifier. I've been lucky enough to use it for 5 or 6 gigs now, and I'm here to tell you why I think this amp is amazing. So for those of you that have checked out my videos before, you'll know that I'm on a constant and relentless hunt to find the best live acoustic tone for my gigs. It seems to be a bit of an enigma in the acoustic guitar world, that like it's all very well having a fantastic guitar that you play at home, but when it comes to live gigs, guitars can sound tinny and thin and horrible and quacky and just not great. So I did a lot of research during lockdown to try and find out what next bit of gear to buy, basically, because, you know, let's face it, we're all addicts. And yeah, I came across the Blackstar Sonett 60. Now, this has been developed by the amazing guitarist John Gomm. If you haven't checked him out before, first of all, what planet are you living on? Second of all, go and watch the song Passion Flower, which is the song that broke him. It's not only an amazing song, but it's also just the guitar techniques on it are astronomically good. Having an artist like John Gomm attached to the development of an amplifier was enough for me to go and check it out. He's got an amazing live tone and he knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to the intricacies of what makes an acoustic sound the way it does. So sure enough, as soon as I was allowed to, I went down to my local guitar shop and I checked one out. I was absolutely blown away. So I did a review on the Bose L1 compact system a while ago. It did really well actually, but that's been my main go-to amplifier for my gigs for ages. But the one gripe I had about it, which I talk about in the review, is that it has no onboard reverb and it's got very limited EQ as well. Bose are great, Bose are fantastic, I love Bose, but I needed something where I could tweak the EQ and it had some reverb. So this amp also fits the bill because it has 2 channels. So you've got an acoustic channel, well, it's basically 2 inputs, so you can use it for whatever you like. A jack and an XLR with a jack in there. So I use it for this channel for the guitar and this channel for vocals. So I'm able to manipulate them both really well. It just saves having a mixing desk on there. This then doubles up as my monitor for bigger gigs. So I can stick it on the floor, connect it out of the DI from here straight into my Bose, and voila, you've got a really good live big sound. There are loads of reasons why I think this amp is absolutely amazing and blows every other acoustic amp out of the water. I won't bore you to death with the amount that I want to talk about. I'm just going to hit a few points that for me as a gigging musician I find really, really useful and I can't believe no one's thought about before. So the main feature on this amp that completely knocked me sideways the first time I heard it was the high pass filter adjuster. So for those of you that don't know what a high pass filter is, essentially a high pass filter can take off all those frequencies that you're not interested in. So it's pretty much standard in most amps. As far as I know, please feel free to tell me otherwise. Electric guitar amps is just there because you're only dealing with the top end of signal. You don't need all this because it doesn't exist. Whereas with acoustic amps, what seems to have happened is acoustic amp manufacturers have copied that model and just said, oh yeah, that'd be fine, we'll just make an acoustic sound a bit like it without worrying about those frequencies, because acoustic guitarists don't need those frequencies either, which is not true. an acoustic guitar, like any acoustic instrument, has a huge range of sounds in it. It's a box of wood. It's got overtones, undertones. It's got some lovely resonant tones in there. And what seems to happen with acoustic amps is that they've all ignored that by just putting that high pass filter automatically built into it, which means you're missing out on all this lush bottom stuff. But you're missing out on these wonderful low frequencies that exist. So what Blackstar have done is they've actually given you a small knob. What is it? Giving you an adjuster. Giving you an adjuster to actually change the amount of high pass filter you want engaged or not. So in fact, you can actually turn the high pass filter completely off, leaving your acoustic in its raw state. So what I've done is record 3 different takes, one with the high pass filter fully on, one with it halfway on, and one with it completely off. And hopefully it will give you an idea of what my ears went through the first time I heard it, because it blew my mind. So as you probably heard from those takes, it gets progressively woo, which is my perfect explanation of the sound, first of all, but also hopefully it'll give you an example of what the high pass filter kind of does. No one's ever done that, but as far as I know, no one's ever done that before. So another thing I love sound-wise about this amp is the reverb on it. So all the videos you heard previously were straight from the amp, and it's the reverb on the hall setting, and it's set about halfway. That's perfect for me. It doesn't get in the way. It's a lovely reverb, whether you're strumming or picking or whatever. It sounds great. I've done a quick video to give you an example of how far you can push it. So this is the reverb turned up to 11, again on the hall setting, and you can get some really cool, interesting, chimey stuff going on. So I just want to park the sound stuff for a second and talk about some of the other features that I think make this amp amazing. First things first, it's got a USB out, which is wonderful, which means you can plug into your computer and do some home recordings and get the tone you want, but also, which I think makes it a really good thing in this day and age, old man that I am, is that you can plug straight into your smartphone. So if you're doing your stuff for Insta or YouTube or live shows, your live streaming stuff that everyone's been doing for the past 18 months because they had to, you just go straight from the amp, straight in, and you get a great sound every time. Other things to mention that I think are just, why has nobody thought about this before? This little thing, I've got to show you because this is amazing. So on here, standard feet, right? You can, let's see if we can do that. It unscrews, right? And what is that? I hear you cry. That is a little prop stand. So if you want to use this as a monitor or you want to angle it up towards the audience, that goes right the way out to about this much. It just means you can angle the amp. It's absolutely fantastic. Sorry, that's a really annoying sound. Again, amongst the other things I could mention about this amp, a really silly thing, but I think really important. It's black. Look at it, it's black. You have no idea how happy it makes me that there's a black acoustic amplifier out there. They always come in brown. I don't understand. Anyway, so there is a notable one that also comes in black for a while, but that's vastly overpriced. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But look, it's black, it's amazing. Most acoustic amps, there's either the budget ones or the high-end ones. And I've tried the majority of them, and I'm telling you now that this little thing outplays all of them at a price point that's a third in some cases, even more than that, a quarter of the price of some of the amps that are out there that claim to be industry leading and are used a lot. I won't mention any names, but I'm telling you, this thing outdoes every amp I've tried at a price point that's nuts, to the point that I was even considering at one point having two of these, having, you know, one either side, like a left and right, and stereo them for my gigs, because it's just that good. I'm really so blown away by it. As the title suggests, this is an honest review. So the first thing to mention is that Blackstar have not paid me one single penny to say the things I've said. This is all based on my own personal opinion, as are all my honest reviews. But you know, Blackstar, get in touch if you want me to, you know, if you want to pay me some money. I'm not going to complain. I was racking my brains about the negatives of this amp, and I really struggled to find one, but I did think of one, and it has Bluetooth on board, which is wonderful, which means you can use it as a standalone speaker, you can use it for backing tracks during gigs, you can use it, yeah, the practical application of you're on your break in the gig and you know, put some background music on. Great idea. The issue I've got with that is that I've used an Android, an iPhone and a MacBook, and I've had a very glitchy signal, which meant the music has cut in and cut out. So I don't know what's going on there. There must be a fix somewhere online, which I'll try and find. It could just be my particular one that's not working properly. I don't know. I thought of another con. It doesn't come with a case. There's no case for it. I thought of a con. I knew I'd get there. So yeah, bit of a shame. With other amps, they come with a nice fitted molded case with maybe a zip for the kettle lead or a couple of leads or whatever. This doesn't come with one. So I've had to go to an independent company whose name I can't remember. I apologise. I'll try to see if I can remember, and I'll stick it in the what are we calling it? The description. There we go. You can tell I'm not a YouTuber. Yeah, I found the company on eBay, and they make custom cases, really high quality. So I just got a nice fitted one there just to keep it safe at gigs so it doesn't get knocked. But yeah, a bit of a shame. Would like just a little, not even branded, just a nice little zip up, slightly padded case for it. You know, that'd be great. Blackstar, if you're listening, just do that and perfect. I would highly recommend you guys go to your local guitar shop and go and try one out and see for yourselves. I'm just to reiterate, I'm absolutely amazed that they can do all these things. They've thought about so many things from a practical musician's perspective, which I feel the acoustic market hasn't really had before. So hats off to Blackstar for really thinking it through. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy content like this, please feel free to subscribe or just to like the video. Let me know what you think. That's what the comments are for. I know every single YouTuber says that. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a guy with gear obsessions. So yeah, but it'd be cool to grow the channel, and yeah, let me know if you want me to review any other things that are out there. I'm always keen to invest. That's right, invest money to find out stuff that's going to make me sound better on stage. Thanks very much for checking it out, guys, and I'll see you again soon.